Picture this. As night descends, profound quietude envelops your surroundings, broken only by the pallid luminescence of a screen, casting its glow upon your weary yet inextricably captivated countenance. With an almost involuntary precision, your thumb ascends, ushering forth a ceaseless cascade of short videos, news articles, and notifications, inundating your senses like an inexorable tide. You may delude yourself into believing you are gleaning insights, forging connections with the vast expanse of the world, or assuaging an inner void. But is this truly the case? Have you ever been suddenly overcome by an inexplicable sense of loss, as if something profoundly significant were slipping through your grasp, yet remaining tantalizingly undefined? Have you, after interminable hours of browsing, discovered that far from feeling enriched, you were left even more profoundly hollowed, perhaps even with a nascent undercurrent of aversion? We are perpetually reminded that this is the epoch of information, of connectivity, of boundless choice. Yet when every one of your predilections, every click, every fleeting moment of engagement is meticulously captured, analyzed, and subsequently fed back to you as content algorithmically deemed most beloved, does this signify genuine freedom of choice or a meticulously woven digital cage? As you observe your own thoughts, aesthetic sensibilities, and even deeply held values aligning with uncanny precision to the content recommended to you, does a deeper form of dispossession perhaps lurk beneath that subtle, comforting sensation of being understood? You may believe you are articulating your authentic self, but is your expression merely an unwitting conformity to algorithmic preferences designed to garner more approvals and attention, thereby trapping you in a spurious cycle of affirmation? Have your every emoji, every trending idiom, even your very judgments regarding justice or iniquity, been subtly preordained by some unseen force, then tacitly infused into your consciousness through a myriad of screens? We cultivate such zealous devotion to constructing perfected self-images within the digital realm that paradoxically, in the tangible world, we appear clumsy and disoriented when confronting our authentic selves and others. We extend boundless patience and benevolence towards those beyond the screen, yet begrudge the most fundamental understanding and empathy to our intimate partners, our parents, or the strangers we merely brush past. Is this a harbinger of progress or a collective regression? When your very essence is fragmented, dispersed into countless data points, meticulously defined by algorithms, and then in turn reshaped by them, do you remain that integral you? Have we, imperceptibly, shifted the anchor of our self-awareness from an inherent inner abundance to an ephemeral external virtual affirmation? As life is quantified into data, happiness is redefined by the tally of likes, and presence becomes hostage to social currency. Are we not, collectively, albeit gradually and irrevocably, forfeiting the most precious facet of our human essence, that unique, uncodable, unreproducible, and unpredictable soul? Are you prepared to confront this disquieting truth? For this indeed is merely the curtain's initial rise. So, how precisely does this intangible force operate, and why does it possess such profound power to erode our very existence? It did not materialize from nothingness. Rather, it is deeply embedded within humanity's most primal desires and profoundest psychological mechanisms, akin to Jung's collective unconscious, those archetypes and impulses we collectively share, which algorithms deftly awaken and exploit. Your yearning for recognition, for visibility, for connection, this constitutes an enduring, timeless, human social imperative. Algorithms precisely capture this yearning, transforming your every online interaction into a digital paean, every share into an accolade of attention. It functions like a tireless phantom, whispering into your ear, "Behold, you are significant, you are cherished." This instantaneous, inexpensive, and ceaseless stream of affirmation reorients your sense of self-worth, detaching it from internal growth and introspection, and externalizing it onto the numerical metrics displayed on a screen. You begin, unconsciously, to calibrate your conduct and expressions, perpetually seeking greater digital feedback, thereby entering an interminable labyrinth of the performative self. Nietzsche once famously declared, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." Yet algorithms do not aim to destroy you, rather they seek to render you weaker, more dependent, more compliant, more susceptible to manipulation. They meticulously feed you the information you most desire to see, reinforcing your pre-existing biases, thus immersing you within a comfortable information echo chamber. You may believe you are engaging in critical thought, yet the very boundaries of your intellect are invisibly circumscribed by the algorithm. You presume yourself to be exploring, but your exploratory pathways have long been preordained. This is akin to an unseen hand, incrementally disarming your critical faculties, causing you to imperceptibly forfeit your discernment for truth and your capacity for tolerating divergent perspectives. Schopenhauer's concept of the will to live, that blind, irrational impulse for existence, is in the algorithmic era transmuted into a ceaseless will to connect and a will to consume. You don't genuinely require the multitude of recommended commodities, yet algorithms, through precise psychological profiling, ignite your latent desires, convincing you that their acquisition will assuage your inner void. You don't genuinely yearn for interminable social engagement, yet the pervasive anxiety of FOMO, fear of missing out, is infinitely amplified by algorithms compelling you to remain perpetually online, lest you miss any significant updates. Consequently, your time, your energy, and even your intrinsic free will are imperceptibly commodified and datafied. At a more profound level, algorithms are fundamentally rewiring our very brains. Each instance of immediate feedback is accompanied by a release of dopamine, ensnaring you in a cycle of addiction. Your attention span progressively dwindles, your patience wanes, and your mind increasingly gravitates towards fragmented, instantaneous information. You become accustomed to passive reception rather than active contemplation, to superficial interactions rather than profound connections. When your brain is conditioned to process only ephemeral fast food information, how then can you genuinely delve into the profound meaning of life, the intricate complexities of human nature, or the vast expanses of the cosmos? This is not the overt enslavement depicted in science fiction. It is rather a gentle corrosion, a silent expropriation. It entices you with the lure of convenience, packages itself in the guise of connectivity, and parades under the banner of personalization, inducing you to willingly surrender your attention and your very free will. Do you perceive this latent menace? For this force is far more potent than you might imagine. It is actively shaping your every tomorrow. As we delve deeper, we discern how this invisible force surreptitiously sculpts the destiny of each individual, and indeed the very trajectory of our societal fabric. It does not merely influence your personal choices, it is fundamentally reshaping your very perception of the world, even defining your intrinsic value as a human being. Your brain, that intricate organ meticulously honed by millions of years of evolution, is currently undergoing reprogramming by algorithms at an unprecedented velocity. We are inherently predisposed to cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias, our tendency to seek out and credit evidence that affirms our pre-existing beliefs while disregarding inconsistencies. Algorithms precisely exploit this, crafting a personalized worldview filter for you. They incessantly reinforce your established convictions, making you more susceptible to extremism and resistant to dissenting opinions, thereby creating insurmountable information cocoons and echo chambers at a societal level. You may presume yourself to be engaging in critical thought,
Yet your intellect is meticulously nourished by pre-selected information fragments, gradually eroding your capacity for comprehensive, multifaceted discernment of a complex world. This cognitive laziness further exacerbates our reliance on algorithms. When answers can be effortlessly retrieved through searches and recommendations, why would one invest in the arduous process of independent research and profound contemplation? When your interpersonal relationships can be reduced to mere likes and comments, why expend the effort to cultivate those intricate and fragile real human connections? The brain's energy conservation mechanism instinctively compels us towards the path of least resistance. And algorithms are precisely the siren calls that pave this path of least effort for you.
Consequently, we have lost the patience to genuinely listen, the courage to engage in meaningful debate, and the capacity to truly comprehend those who do not conform to our pre-assigned labels. Cultural indoctrination in the algorithmic age also presents a novel visage. In the past, culture was incrementally shaped by family, educational institutions, communities, and traditional media. Now, a viral short video, a trending topic, or an algorithmically propelled popular trend can, in an extraordinarily brief span, define what is cool, what is beautiful, what is correct. Your aesthetic standards, your core values, and even your very existential inquiries regarding life's meaning can be swept away by these instantaneously exploding consensuses. Do you sense yourself being propelled towards a homogenized, flattened persona? Do you find that your unique individuality is being progressively eroded merely to better assimilate into the mainstream constructed by data? More alarmingly, this collective loss of soul is systematically divesting us of our profound understanding and experience of humanity. When authentic emotions are supplanted by emoticons, when complex moral dilemmas are reduced to binary adversarial labels, when profound suffering is trivialized through entertainment, we gradually forfeit our capacity for genuine feeling and empathy. We invest immense emotional energy in the ephemeral joys and sorrows of the virtual realm, yet remain oblivious to the tangible predicaments in our immediate world. This emotional alienation is corroding our most fundamental human capacities for empathy and connection. Have you ever felt an overwhelming compulsion to escape from it all, yet found yourself without an avenue for retreat? Do you realize that this invisible shaping is actively determining the trajectory of your future life and indeed the person you are ultimately destined to become? Should you fail to awaken, you will descend further into its grasp, your soul increasingly entwined by the tentacles of algorithms until you become nothing more than a predictable, manipulable data node. But do not despair. Utter hopelessness is not the terminus, for certain voices persistently remind us that a path still exists. Therefore, confronting this ubiquitous, insidious erosion, are we inexorably fated to succumb, to become mere specks of dust within the torrential data streams of the algorithmic age? No, emphatically not. The very grandeur of humanity resides precisely in our inherent capacity for profound introspection and awakening, in our formidable will to transcend predetermined paradigms. The answer lies not in an outright rejection of technology, but in the activation of a fundamentally subversive new perspective, to reclaim those pathways that, though seemingly counterintuitive, lead to genuine freedom. Firstly, it is imperative to recognize that your attention is your most invaluable asset. It merits protection more than any cryptocurrency. Algorithms exert their manipulative power precisely by successfully hijacking your attention. Thus, the inaugural step toward reclaiming dominion is a deliberate, conscious reduction of information input.
This is not an exhortation to become a recluse, but rather a counsel to cultivate a state of hunger, allowing your mind to once again yearn for profound contemplation rather than passive consumption. You might endeavor to establish fixed digital detoxification periods daily, banishing your phone from the bedroom, substituting electronic texts with physical books, and favoring authentic dialogue over virtual affirmations. This may appear countercultural, yet it constitutes a profound investment in your inner world, a solemn declaration of your free will. Secondly, cultivate a practice of conscious solitude or active seclusion. In an era where connectivity is endlessly extolled, solitude is often erroneously perceived as a deficiency. However, truly profound thought, bursts of creativity, and the critical examination of one's own soul frequently burgeon during moments of introspection. Thoreau's austere existence by Walden Pond was not an escape from the world, rather a profound return to the wellspring of self. He chose a deliberate, purposeful solitude, thereby allowing himself to discern the most authentic murmurs of his inner being. When you are no longer swayed by the gaze of others and the predilections of algorithms, you are afforded the profound opportunity to truly recognize the you that has been submerged by the relentless torrent of information. In silence, you will learn to heed your own intuition rather than being swayed by external clamor. Furthermore, it is essential to reforge your connection with the tangible world. No matter how captivating the world portrayed by algorithms, it remains merely a projection or distortion of reality. True vitality resides in the sunlit earth, the genuine smile of a stranger, a purposeless stroll, an undistracted immersion in a book. Endeavor to feel the authentic sensation of a breeze caressing your cheek, to listen to the primal rhythms of nature, to experience the subtle nuances of face-to-face communication. Those individuals who, throughout history, genuinely lived wisely, whether through the meditative practice of Zen masters or the methodical walks of philosopher Immanuel Kant, understood how to withdraw from the world's cacophony, directing their attention towards internal order and harmony. They were not adversaries of technology, but rather individuals profoundly aware of human limitations and the indispensable necessity of self-cultivation. You must grasp that genuine self-worth is not defined by external validations or societal approbation. Your inherent value resides in your unique lived experiences, your internal moral compass, and your capacity for independent thought and choice. When you cease to seek affirmation externally, turning instead to cultivate inner strength, you begin to reclaim absolute sovereignty over your own life. This represents an act of courage, flowing against the prevailing current, a gentle defiance against the temporal torrent. Are you prepared to become the navigator who, amidst the vast ocean of information, can still locate their own compass? For the ultimate awakening lies directly ahead. Now let us arrive at the culmination of this intellectual journey to unveil the most profound and startling ultimate insight, one that will instantaneously illuminate all your preceding perplexities and anxieties. We are not advocating for the abandonment of technology or a regression to a primitive age, nor are we suggesting a complete severance from the digital realm, transforming into societal pariahs. True awakening lies in how you fundamentally redefine the mode of your soul's existence in the digital era and how you firmly seize control of it. This ultimate insight is, your soul is not merely a metaphysical construct. It is the very amalgamation of your free will, your capacity for choice, your pursuit of meaning, your faculty of feeling, your power of creation, your aptitude for empathy, and your unyielding quest for truth. When algorithms endeavor to quantify, predict, or even supplant these capacities, they are not stealing your soul. Rather, they are enticing you to willingly surrender it. And your power lies precisely in your ability to continually reject this enticement, to reassert your inherent human sovereignty. Envision a scene. You are not a passive recipient of information, but an active nourisher of your own soul. Every click you make is a meticulously considered decision. Every moment of engagement is imbued with a clear purpose. You are no longer merely a consumer of information, but an alchemist of knowledge, extracting genuine cognitive gold from the vast expanse of data rather than being filled with fragmented dross. This embodies a profound level of self-discipline and, more importantly, a deep self-reverence. It signifies that you no longer permit external algorithms to dictate the parameters of your life. Instead, you yourself meticulously calibrate your internal compass. You must cultivate anew the art of slowness. In an era where everything relentlessly pursues immediacy and efficiency, to slow down becomes an act of defiance. Slow reading allows for a soulful dialogue with the author. Slow contemplation enables you to peel back the surface of phenomena and touch the essence of things. Slow living allows you to savor the subtle beauties of each passing moment. When you embrace slowness, your attention is no longer fragmented, and your mind can rediscover tranquility and depth. This precisely aligns with Schopenhauer's concept of escaping the blind impetus of the will to live and returning to a contemplative engagement with the essence of life.
True insight often blossoms from stillness and profound reflection. Furthermore, you must comprehend that authentic connection resides not in screen-based interactions, but in the resonance of heart with heart, in genuine empathy for the suffering of others, and in tangible actions undertaken for a shared objective. Algorithms connect data points, whereas you, as a human being, connect lives. Engage in real community endeavors. Assist those in your immediate proximity who genuinely require aid, and perform acts of kindness that are unrecorded by cameras and unrewarded by virtual likes. You will discover that true meaning and profound fulfillment do not emanate from the clamor of the virtual world, but from your most fundamental human capacities for giving and for love. Therefore, awaken. From this very moment, you possess the freedom of choice. You can choose to remain passively molded by algorithms, becoming an efficient but hollow data node. Or you can choose to reclaim your sovereignty, becoming a complete being, endowed with soul, depth, and warmth. Your soul has never truly been lost. It has merely been veiled by layers of obfuscation. As you begin to make conscious choices, as you begin to refocus on inner abundance, and as you bravely maintain distance from the world's cacophony, your soul will emerge like a nascent sprout, re-radiating its brilliant light. Go forth and redefine your existence. Feel the wind, touch the rain, listen to your heartbeat, and embrace the authentic, unalgorithmed you. For that is truly all you are meant to possess, and all that can never be taken away. A revolution of the soul has subtly begun, and you, indeed, are its protagonist.